Hey guys, it's Tessa from HandleTheHeat.com, and today we're going to be making empanadas. These little Latin pastries filled with goodness are surprisingly easy to make, and I'm going to be showing you how to make a homemade dough, an easy beef filling that takes no time at all, and my favorite dessert empanada, because if you know me, you know I have to have something sweet. These are so delicious and are crowd pleasers. Best of all, they can be made ahead of time and are totally customizable. So if you'd like to learn all the tips and tricks for making homemade empanadas, be sure to watch this video all the way to the end. Now let's get started. Alright, so we're actually going to begin with the dough because it needs to chill for 2 hours before we can use it. So I have 1.5 sticks of unsalted butter in a medium saucepan, and I'm adding 1 cup of regular water, and I'm going to let this heat until it's all melted, and then add in a pinch of paprika and 2 teaspoons of salt, just to give it a little bit of flavor and color. And then I'm going to add in 2 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, and then remove it from the heat and stir it until it all comes together into a wet, oily, malleable dough. And this dough is super easy to work with, but be careful because it will still be hot. So just cover it with plastic wrap and pop it in the fridge for 2 hours or overnight. The longer it's in the fridge, you may need to take it out and let it lose its chill a little bit so it's easier to work with. So then I'm moving on to my beef filling, and 3 tablespoons of oil go into a large skillet over medium heat, and I'm adding in 1 onion and 1 bell pepper that I've just chopped really finely, and then I'm adding in 1/2 teaspoon each of paprika, red pepper flakes, white pepper, and ground cumin. I'm going to cook this until the vegetables soften, and then add 1 pound of ground beef. And the awesome thing about empanadas and their fillings is that they're totally customizable. You can add any type of spices you want. You can switch out the ground beef for pork or chicken or whatever you want. You could even use chorizo or something like that. And you can add in cheese or any other type of flavorings. I also like to add in scallions too for an extra oniony kick. So once the ground beef is all cooked and there's no more pink, I'm just going to drain the fat. And while I've been cooking the beef, I've actually had 1 small russet potato boiling in the water until it's nice and softened. And I probably should have cut these a little bit smaller. The potato chunks are a little oversized for the empanadas, but oh well. The filling is super forgivable and easy to work with. Same with the dough. So I've just rolled the dough out on a lightly floured work surface, and I'm using a biscuit cutter to cut about 5-inch circles from the dough. And each circle, before I fill them, I just like to further roll them out to make sure it's nice and thin and the dough isn't too thick. And then I add about a little less than 2 tablespoons of filling. And then I just position the dough so I can, or position the filling so I can fold the dough over into a half-moon shape. And you want to make sure not to overfill the empanadas. You'll probably wind up using a little less filling than you might think, because we really don't want the dough to rip or burst or the empanadas to leak open while they're baking. So I'm just pressing down the edges to seal, and I'll show you how I make a decorative seal in just a moment. But I first want to show you my dessert variation. So after I've used all of my beef filling, I move on to dessert, and this is going to be a banana Nutella empanada. Does anything sound better than that? I don't think so. These are super ooey gooey and sweet and delicious. So I just add a few slices of fresh banana and a little dollop of Nutella, and then I repeat the same procedure of folding the dough over and sealing the edges. And you don't have to worry about making perfect empanadas because a lot of the imperfections actually get baked out in the oven. So the first way that we can decoratively seal the empanadas is just with the tines of a fork, just crimping the edges, pressing down, making sure that the tines don't actually puncture the empanada and create a hole. So the second way is a little bit more involved, and if you've ever watched someone make empanadas who has made them all of their lives, they can do this in about 2 seconds flat. I'm still working on my method and technique a little bit, but basically you just press your thumb against the edge and squeeze until you form a little mound of dough, and then you fold it over on itself. And this creates a really nice, pretty braid effect. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect because a lot of the imperfections will get baked out in the oven. So these actually go in a 400-degree oven for about 20 minutes or until golden brown. But first, with the dessert empanadas, I want to add in some more texture and flavor. So I'm actually going to brush them with an egg wash. And this is going to allow the cinnamon sugar that I sprinkle over them to really adhere, give it a nice golden brown effect, and it kind of looks like a little hand pie. So those will go in the oven for the same amount of time, and you can actually postpone baking and just put them in the fridge and chill until you're ready to bake. Okay, so how adorable are these little baby empanadas? They're not really baby empanadas, I just think they're so cute and handheld, and there's nothing better than something delicious that you can eat with your hands and you don't even need a fork, knife, or a plate. It doesn't get better than that. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you know anyone who would love this video, I'd so appreciate it if you'd share it with your friends, and as always, let me know what you'd like to see next time in the comments below. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll catch you on next time in another food video.